guys, it's Brantzen, and today we're playing a 5-5-10 session at the Gardens. But before that, I just wanted to say we hit 30,000 subscribers! It's so exciting, and I wanted to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for making this possible, for being there, for supporting me on my journey. It has been wild. It's been 10 months since my wife quit her job, since I've gone full-time with this, supported the family completely. So not only do I thank you from me, but I thank you on behalf of my wife, on behalf of my almost 3-year-old daughter. So thank you guys. It is a dream that I get to be playing a game that I love for a living. So thank you guys.
Cheers.
With the guy Brantzen, who has the Brantzen poker logs.
No! Let's go! Let's go!
Tell him he's got a lot of class, and it's all low.
So I sit down with $500 for the first bomb pot, I win it with a bet on the flop, and then I pick up ace-4 of clubs in the big blind. The under the gun opens to $30, the hijack calls, the small blind calls. Most of the time, this would be a call from me after early position opens. However, occasionally, I go spicy. I 3-bet to $180, hoping to take this down now, or at least isolate the under the gun. Well, the under the gun calls, but the hijack calls as well, and we're 3 ways to a flop of ace, jack, 7, 2 diamonds. My hand is okay, I guess. I have top pair, but if anyone else has an ace, they should be ahead of me. Still, I go for a c-bet, $150, and only the under the gun calls. The turn is the queen of diamonds, completing the flush draw, and at this point, I'm just trying to make it to showdown. I check, he checks. Thank goodness. The river is a deuce. I check again. He checks again. I show my cards, and he has king, jack, offsuit. Yes! Okay, taking it down this time. Next, I pick up 5-6 of hearts on the button. I open to $35, the big blind and straddle call, and we're 3 ways to a flop of 10-6-3 all diamonds. I don't have a diamond. I do have a 6, though, and I might have the best hand now with second pair, so when the action checks to me, I bet $30, but both my opponents call, and the turn is a 4. The big blind checks, but the straddle just jams for $170. It is a little tempting given the fact I picked up a straight draw, but I could just be dead to flushes, and there are plenty of better spots, so I fold. Then I get jack, queen of clubs in the hijack. I open to $35. Small blind, big blind, straddle, call. People are call happy today. 4 ways to a flop of king, 8, deuce, 2 clubs. Action checks to me, and I bet $60. I have a flush draw, but I'm also representing hands like ace king, king queen, king jack. Anyway, the big blind says, screw you, and he raises to $150. So I'm a bit confused. There shouldn't be many 2 pairs possible on this board. The only draw is pretty much the club draw, and I have the club draw, so maybe he has a set, maybe making moves with a king. He could still have a different flush draw. All right, I can't fold yet. I call, and we're heads up to a turn, which comes a 10. Now he checks. Interesting. I have a flush draw. I have a straight draw. I debate betting or checking, but I decide to just see what happens on the river. I check, and the river comes the 6 of clubs. All right, I have the flush, and now he bets $300. Well, I'm not folding, but should I call or should I raise? He raised me on the flop, then checked the turn, and now he's betting on the river when the flush comes in. I would have thought if he had a really good hand, he would have continued barreling the turn. So when he bets pretty big on the river, the only value hands I'm really putting him on are flushes. And a lot of those flushes are ace-high flushes, especially when he raised me on the flop. So for that reason, I just call. He says, you're good, I missed. So somehow he was running some kind of crazy bluff and I win. All right, in this one, my opponents decide, hey, let's be insane. There's a double straddle to 20, a triple straddle to 40, a quadruple straddle to $80, meaning my opponent puts in $80 without seeing his cards. And guess what? I get pocket jacks. I mean, you can't make this up. My life is a movie. I'm in the straddle. I raised to $240. The guy doing the $80 quadruple straddle thing is short stacked. He goes all in for $300. I call. Board runs out 8, ace 3, ace 8. He shows king 10. I have the winner, and I take it down. Big shout out to Shia LaBeouf. Thank you for recording that just for this video. He's a big fan of the vlog. I'm happy to include him, you know. Anyway, ace jack off in the big blind. This time there's a triple straddle to $40, small blind limps. I raise to 160 and everyone folds. Then I get ace king in the cutoff. The hijack opens to $40. I go for the standard 3-bet to $120. The hijack calls and we're heads up to a flop of 10 deuce for 2 hearts. He checks. I have nothing, but I'm often going to c-bet in a 3-bet pot, so I make it $85. He calls, unfortunately, but fortunately, the turn is the ace of hearts. Now, it's not perfect since the flush draw comes in, but at least now I have top pair, top kicker. He checks, and I exercise some caution and check back. River is the 6 of clubs, and he checks again. Okay, now I think I have to go for some value, charging a weaker ace, maybe a 10. I bet $245, but he doesn't call, he doesn't fold, he raises to $1,100. And I'm sitting here in the nightmare zone. I hate this. I'm thinking maybe I should have just checked back. What have I gotten myself into? I don't know. Oh, the check raise on the river just looks so strong. So as much as I'd like to call here and see what he has, I think it's just smarter to let this one go. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Later on, I pick up king 8 of diamonds on the button. I open at $35 and get called by the small blind and the straddle. 3 ways to a flop of king 7-3 rainbow. Action checks to me. This is a board that favors my range. It's good for my hand as I have top pair. I go for a small c-bet of $40. Small blind folds, but the straddle raises to $140, and I do not love this. There really aren't any draws on this board. I mean, he could be going aggressive with 4-5 or 5-6, but I don't know. My first instinct is that he has a set, but sometimes people make weird plays with bottom or middle pair. I'm in position. I have top pair, backdoor flush draw. All right, I call. Let's see a turn. Turn is a queen. Shouldn't change anything. And he continues betting, but for small, 105. I'd expect him to bet more with a set, so I'm confused. I'm getting a good price. I call once again, and the river is a 9. He checks now. I check back. He shows king 7 for a flopped 2 pair. I feel stupid. It's definitely a hand I could have folded on the flop. There were no real draws, and at the end of the day, I just got stubborn and lost a lot more money than I needed to, so I'm not so proud of this hand. Last hand of the night, I get pocket 5s on the Lojack. I open to $35 and get called only by this small blind. Heads up to a flop of queen 7 deuce rainbow. He checks. I go for a c-bet of $30. He calls, and the turn is a 4. Well, he checks again, and there's no way I'm getting value out of a worse hand than mine if I continue betting. My number one goal here is just to reach showdown now and hope that I have the best hand. I check back. River's a jack. He checks. I'm happy to check back, and he shows deuce 3 for a pair of deuces. I show my cards, and I take it down. And then a little after that, I decide to pack it up and call it a night. So the session went pretty well. I was only in for $500. A lot of times when I buy in for just $500, play that first bomb pot, and if I win it, then basically I have a full buy-in. So that's what I did. I bought in for $500, won the first bomb pot, and I was out for $14.13 for a profit of $913. And yeah, it was good. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.